Dre all day.
Dre Baldwin, balloverseas.com, overseas basketball blueprints. If you are, wherever you are listening to this, actually before I get into that, today's topic is what you can and cannot do regarding agents while you are playing college basketball. So this is something that I've had to update of what I say about this because things have changed over the years when it comes to agents dealing with amateur players, specifically when you're playing in NCAA school. All that being said, if you're watching this on video, please like, comment, share the video. If you're listening to this on the podcast app, follow, subscribe, like, leave a rating and review of the show. Let people know that I am, and we are, the plug when it comes to overseas ball. So all that being said, question is, if I'm playing college basketball, can I talk to agents? Can I sign with an agent? What can I do with an agent? All right, so this is something that back in the days, it used to be you couldn't even deal with agents. If it was even, I'm talking about back in like the 90s, if you were even talking to an agent, if the NCAA heard that you were even having conversations with a basketball agent while you were still in amateur status, like you're still playing for a college sports team, you could lose your eligibility. The team could get they could get sanctions and lose scholarships and all kinds of things. I don't know the exact detail of exactly what the rules were because the rules are always changing and they're written in legalese by lawyers, but that's how it was back then. If it was heard that you were messing with agents, you could lose all kinds of stuff. But anyway, the rules have been and things have been updated over the years, and also maybe I don't pay that much attention to college basketball. I don't even watch college basketball, so I didn't know that much either. But when I wrote my book called Basketball Agents Decoded, I went and looked this up. And because I've spoken to some people who are actually basketball agents, shout out to my guy, Kevin Tarka. When I interviewed him, he was talking about this, and he's an agent himself. And he's a guy I interviewed. So you can look that video up. It's on, I think it's on YouTube. Look that up, Kevin Tarka, Dre Baldwin. And he talked about that, because he's an agent himself. Like, can you talk to agents when you're a college basketball player? So let him speak for himself, and he can talk about it as well. And again, in my book, Basketball Agents Decoded. This is something that I found. Arizona State puts this on their website. And this is in 2020. So I doubt they changed anything during the year of COVID when a lot of basketball seasons got canceled. But this is what it says. This is a quote from Arizona State University's website. These are NCAA rules. So I would have you assume that if you play D1, D2, D3, NCAA, these rules apply to everyone. This just happens to be on their particular website. The following, this is a quote. The following are categories of benefits that NCAA legislation prohibits boosters and other stakeholders from providing. Cash and cost-free goods and services. Special discounts, payment arrangements, or credit options for products or services if the same are not available to all students. Preferential treatment, benefits, or services based on a student athlete's athletic reputation, skill, or payback potential as a future professional athlete, payment for work not performed or at unreasonable levels, the purchase of items or services from student athletes or their relatives at inflated prices. Prospective and enrolled student athletes who receive such benefits jeopardize their eligibility to compete in intercollegiate athletics. Close quote. In other words, the fact that you are an athlete does not allow you, when you play in the NCAA, you are not allowed to receive any type of benefit that any other regular person would not get from someone, such as a booster or a fan or an agent. So if a booster or a fan or agent gives you a couple $100 because they know you play ball and they know you ain't making any money because you're on scholarship, you're not allowed to, they can't do that unless they're doing the same thing for everybody else. And actually, they can't do it, period. Because the NCAA basically gets to determine, because a lot of this stuff that I just said is very subjective. All right. They say special discounts, special arrangements, preferential treatment, payment for work performed at unreasonable levels, things purchased at inflated prices, any benefits, or a lot of these things are subjective. Like, anybody can judge whether something is preferential or not, whether a price is inflated or not is very, very subjective. But the problem is, if you're a student athlete and the NCAA says that subjectively they rule that you broke a rule, what are you going to do? All right, you can't afford a lawyer, you ain't got no money. So what are you going to do? You're basically going to become ineligible and your career is over, and that might derail your whole sports career. So when it comes to agents, you cannot receive anything from an agent. Agent can't give you anything. They can't give you any money. They can't pay for your flight. They can't pay for a hotel or anything like that, because all of that stuff is paper trail, and if the NCAA finds out, your career is pretty much done. That agent can lose their, or whatever status they would have, the NCAA. I don't know how much that even matters. But you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose your eligibility based off of that, or your school could face some type of penalty based on you even when you don't go there anymore. But and you can speak to agents. This is the thing that I learned. An agent can talk to you. So while you're playing college ball, you can have a conversation with an agent. So you could be in your senior season and an agent reaches out to you and they want to talk to you about how they can represent you to play overseas after your career is done. That can happen. You can have those conversations. They can talk to your family and your family can do the negotiating on your behalf, whatever the situation is going to be. So yes, you can have that conversation with an agent while you are playing college basketball. And if you can do that, I would suggest that you do, because that'll help you hit the ground running when your college career is done, your eligibility is over, that agent is already, if you decide to sign with one, that agent is already working to get your name out there as early as possible, because college basketball seasons in a normal year, they're ending in the spring, and then players are signing contracts sometime in the summer. So between May, June, July, August, that's when players are signing their contracts, and then August, September, you're going overseas to go play for your team. So if you have an agent who's already putting your name out there or already working on how to get you out there in April, hopefully that means more often than not, if that's a good agent and you're a good player, obviously you were doing something good to get that agent interested in you in the first place, to be talking to you while you were in college. They can help you get a deal by, if they're working on you in April, they can get you a deal by July, August, September, so that you'll be on and you don't have to going through the early season and everybody's in training camps overseas, and here you are still sitting on your hands in the USA trying to get a deal. So the answer to the question, should you talk to agents and can you talk to agents while you're still playing college basketball? The answer is yes. Now I'll just explain why, and why I would definitely suggest you do it. As long as you stay within the rules, don't accept any impermissible benefits from that agent. In other words, don't let that agent pay for shit that you're not paying for out of your pocket. And if the NCAA finds out, it could be a wrap for you just because you received something that you weren't allowed to receive as a student athlete. Now, I know that the NCAA is opening up, allegedly, they're going to open up to where athletes can make money off their name and likeness, like through brand deals and things like that. I don't think it's open enough. It's still a whole lot of legalese in that. It's still a whole lot of lawyer talk in that. So be careful, all you athletes out there. That's the only thing I would say is just be careful. Make sure you are within the rules. Go talk to the compliance officers and show them everything that you're doing if you have any questions, because the last thing you want to do is have yourself become rule ineligible and you can't play, or your team lose scholarships, or they get barred from postseason play or anything like that, and you can't show your game. Therefore, you can't get game film. Therefore, you don't have proof. Therefore, it hurts your chances of playing professional basketball. So do not make any of those mistakes. NCAA is gangster. NCAA is the mob. All right, so don't let the mob shake you down. They're already shaking you down. Don't let them shake you down any worse. All right, you don't want to get in the hole to the mob. All right, you don't want to have gambling debts to a mafia person. All right, because I heard those don't go well. And the NCAA is a mafia. So all that being said, that's the answer to what you can do with basketball agents while you're playing college ball. If you don't yet have your free copy of this book, The Overseas Basketball Blueprint, go get it at balloverseas.com. I made the book free. All you do is cover a small shipping charge and ship it to you worldwide, anywhere that you live. While you are there, if you want to get the 4-book Overseas Blueprint Bundle, that's the agent's book that I just read from, The Truth About Exposure Camps, and Overseas Basketball Secrets, talking about the business side of professional basketball. All those are covered at balloverseas.com. You can get all 4. You can just get one if you want to just get one. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, I got all the information you need to play professional basketball. Again, it's at balloverseas.com. Work on your game. Dre